Hello, hello, the Bloodlust is live. Welcome back to Trackmania Tuesday. That's right, we are here to do some record reviews of Trackmania Week 74. And then we're going to get into the discovery of Week 75. If you are a Trackmania player, we will have a room open that everybody is welcome to join. So we'll hop into that here rather soon. Hope everyone is having a terrific Tuesday. Tantalizing Tuesday, even. We're going to hop into the game here. We got Trackmania up on the screen. Appreciate everybody for being here with me. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button. Subscribe, check out the links below. We are also live on Twitch with the full screen. So if you want to see the full screen coverage, as I said, check out the links below over on YouTube. If you are here with us on Twitch, I greatly appreciate you. We're going to hop into it. We're going to check out the weekly tracks. Of course, we are starting with week 74. A little late today because I had a couple updates and I had to use the restroom, so that's a thing. But we're gonna hop into it. We're gonna do the regular stream today. We're gonna jump in checking out first track of week 74. This is Saudia. This one's fun. Got a lot of moving parts. Kind of reminds me of that one track from Mario Kart. I'm talking about the airport. Oop. You got to get really close to this first wall. Definitely want to reduce your distance in every pass where possible. Whoop, bumped into that wall. That sucks. You want to take this at a really high speed. Try to maintain a smooth drift or full grip line around each section if possible. You go real tight here, and then you want to just barely make it inside that green light bar there. What up, Justin? How you doing today, man? Good to see you. We're just hopping in, getting started with our records review. This track has 7 checkpoints, which is kind of a lot for a weekly short. Like, it's not a very long track, but that's like a high number of checkpoints. Usually there's not a ton of checkpoints. We want an even tighter line there. And get a nice run here on this first track before we get into the reviews. I would like to have a good warm-up here. Whoopsie. Little early. Hell yeah, hell yeah. What you streaming today? About to make dinner. Nice. What you having for dinner? Dinner sounds good, actually. I could use some food right now. Little too wide there. This first section is tough. Once you get through this first section, it's kind of a free ride to the finish, but you got to get a really good line here, and then you want to go tight through this section, but it's a tough line to manage. We're going to get it. Want to go close to that upright if possible. I released a lot there. That's not exactly how you're supposed to do it. We want a nice tight line through this green bar, and then we drift all the way through here and take a straight line into the finish there. This track does not appear to have any shortcuts, so we are going to be looking for just clean precision here. I'm going to look at the records. For the world records, we got Complex Statics, Hollow 99, Adjust, EKZ, Exosum, and Vocile. Not decided. Think of something good. Heck yeah. We're going to start with Complex Statics perspective here with Hollow and Adjust ahead. Going a little bit right at the start here so you can get a wider line to this first upright. Hoping to increase the speed that can be gained a little bit. Really tight multi-tap drift there around that last turn into the finish. Really only a couple of things to remark on here. Just that first line. Obviously you can see Complex goes really wide there, so he can get a straighter line through that first checkpoint, giving him a bit more speed. Hollow and Adjust stay more towards the left side. They do go a little wide, but Hollow and Adjust much tighter through the second checkpoint. Nice tight line through the third checkpoint, barely missing that light bar, barely missing that upright, and making it straight into the finish there. Check out what Exosum's got here for us. Is it going to let us see Exosum? Exosum with Adjust behind. Adjust going a little bit wider than Exosum here. Exosum taking a much straighter line. Double tap, little drift right there. Nice tight line through the uprights under the plane. And super wide into the finish there, but keeping a lot of speed for a 17.432. Sisters kids are here. All right, man, stay safe, have fun. Don't let them drive you crazy. Well done to Exosum. Nice clean run there. Super smooth into the finish. That line carried a lot of speed because he canceled his drift just a little bit earlier than Adjust. Let's see what Vocile did here. Vocile with Exosum behind. Vocile and Exosum taking almost identical lines here at the start. Exosum gaining a little bit of distance, but Vocile has a slightly tighter line and a faster drift through checkpoint 5, going into 6 and 7, and making it into the finish just barely ahead of Adjust. 7 thousandths difference between them. If we look again here, we can see Vocile just barely ahead by about the width of the rim of his tire. Well done to everybody there. That was a great run by Vocile, Exosum, Adjust EKZ, Hollow 99, and Complex Statics. As I said, pretty much just a nice, clean run there. Not really a lot to commentate on. I managed to make it number 67 in Oregon. Probably irrelevant world score. This one is very interesting to me. We're going to be seeing a lot of Vocile this week. This is a sponsored event, so there is actually a reward on the line for whoever had the points record. The best score this week would get tickets to the nearest Formula E race, and Vocile really wanted in on that, so he put in a lot of work to get the records this week. I scrubbed the wall. This first downhill section is probably the toughest part of this whole track. It's a straight downhill, but you got to take it at like kind of a specific curve in order to both make it through the checkpoint and get through this section without airtime. So you need a really tight curve. You can carry all of your speed, but you have to have like the perfect angle coming out of this. We're gonna go a little wide there. I did release a bit. I'm not gonna have enough speed to make that jump. You basically have to have all of the speed from the start in order to make that jump. I mean, you can go pretty much straight on that section and jump up to that road on the other side, but this is the somewhat optimum path. Clipped the edge there. We can get a better run. I'm starting to warm up to it. This first, like I said, this downhill section is probably the hardest part of this track. I will say though, these sponsored tracks have been much better than a lot of the ones in the recent past. I had to release a little bit again, but much better than previous. Still not enough speed to get that jump. So what we're gonna see here, I did actually unintentionally spoil the records for myself on the first couple of tracks here, but what we're gonna see is we're gonna see a really tight line, barely missing touching that wall, and keeping all of their speed over that bump just before the finish, or just before the checkpoint, I mean. There is like a little bit of an overlap between the slope and the flat there. And if you aim just for that corner, basically, then you can make it over nice and smooth, keep all of your speed and contact with the ground. It is a tough line though. You got to hit it just right here at the start. There we go, that's the line. And then we make this jump with a ton of speed. We drift around this section, keeping our speed, going low through here, losing a lot of speed because of my angle, and then you want to go real tight through this section into the finish there. I had a really good start, but screwed it towards the end. That's fine. This track is all about full speed and maximizing your space. If you kind of look at it from like an aerial perspective, it seems like a really straightforward track. You got a straight line here and a 90, straight line here and a 90, and you got a little bit of a jump. You could go around this way, that is possible, but you got a little bit of a jump here, hit this section, straight line, 180 straight, and then you would think this would be a dog leg, but there's these cones missing to indicate that you want to jump this way. And you go straight and a 90, except for the fact is that the best line is definitely not going to be going in a straight line. You're going to be trying to maximize every corner, every little bit of space that you have, and trying to keep grip through all of it as much as possible, as little airtime as you can get away with. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the records here. We got Turtle TM, Exosum, Levon, UNTM, and Vocile again with the world record on, with the world record on track 2 here. We start with Turtle TM, going real wide, barely missing that wall. A little bit of a drift there at the bottom. Nice tight line through that section. Going straight as possible. Real tight drift up against that inside wall there. A little bit of a weird, like, lag right there with the ghosts. They all kind of wobbled. That was weird. Anyway, we got Exosum and Levon going a little bit wider through that section, picking up a bit more speed and carrying it into the finish. You got that weird wobble right there. Like, all three ghosts move and like just the slightest little wobble, it kind of messes with my brain. Anyway, yeah. Nice low line there, hitting the edge, super tight inside turn. Turtle a bit behind him, but managing to catch back up there in the finish for 17.808. Exosum 17.765. Levon with a 17.738. Let's see what Ewan's got for us. Ewan a little bit ahead right at the start there, super close to the wall. Kind of getting a tiny bit of airtime, missing that corner, taking a bit of a straighter line, going a little slow around that turn, but carrying more speed into the finish and had just a slightly tighter line, bit more of an angle on that last turn going into the finish. Ewan going right over the corner. Beautiful landing, as little airtime as physically possible. Well done to Ewan there. Let's see what Vocile has for us with Ewan behind. Ewan actually ahead at the start. Vocile with a little bit of a, look like a lift, like a nose lift. Super tight inside line there, carrying as much speed as possible. Kind of close, almost clipped on that transition. And as tight to the inside there as possible to get into the finish before Ewan. You can see Vocile's front tires actually lift as he's coming over that. Barely making it over that transition there. His tires do actually clip a little bit, but he doesn't lose speed for it. Getting in there at a 17.703. That's 2 world records for Vocile. Well done, Vocile, UNTM, Levon, Exosum, and Turtle TM. top 5 on track 2 of week 74. Love to see it. Well done to everybody. Let's go on to the next track. That was ABB, track 2 of week 74. Citron Racing. Now this one is an interesting one. This is the Pathfinder track. You're gonna see Citron's emblem here on the ground. This is their, like, the double chevron, the red, white, and blue chevron. I believe it's French. So there's a few different paths you can take here. You can go over this way, around the outside, hitting all of these checkpoints. And you cut inside here, and you get this checkpoint and bump into the finish. I missed a checkpoint somewhere. Oh yeah, this checkpoint here on the inside. So there is a little bit of a bump here. You can take that, launch over, hit that checkpoint, and then yeah, do the rest of the around path. But there is also this bumper here, which is going to allow us to do some interesting things. If we can hit this at just literally the perfect angle with just the right amount of speed, we have to release right before we hit it and then hit the gas like the moment that we make contact. Nope, missed it. We want to get just on the other side of this start right there, and then boom, if you do it just right, it'll launch you into that checkpoint. It's kind of a fun little flip that it gives you too. But anyway, if we can make it through that spring and you get just enough air time that it will actually launch you through that checkpoint, and if you land just right, oh, almost get turtled again, but if you land just right, you'll go like wee over here, and then you'll land right there on that reactor, and that reactor will carry you through here. But the interesting thing is right here is a hidden reactor in the corner of this block. It just barely peeks up out of the ground there, and you can hit that for an extra boost of speed, and that's going to cause some shenanigans that we will see here momentarily. So let's check out the records here. We got Macrix TM, UN TM, Exosum, Rua Regalu, and Dara TM. We're going to start with Macrix. Oops. The reactor. Macrix taking a slightly or not Macrix, looks like Ewan taking a slightly different route than everybody else. Macrix and Ewan both missing that first reactor. Ewan, or Exosum missing that first reactor. Ewan going through the reactor. Exosum going around the outside. Macrix and Ewan going, weaving through the checkpoints here, hitting that bounce and reducing the friction on the sand. Let's see what Exosum did here. Exosum launching nose down into the reactor there, going around the outside, straight flying through each one of these checkpoints, literally and figuratively, and straight into the finish there. Just ahead of Ewan. Macrix a little bit behind. But we're going to see Rui Regalu is going to do something even more different here. Rui Regalu is going to go down, hit the corner, and pick up this reactor going around the outside with a smoother line, slightly ahead of Ewan here, and carrying just a tiny bit more speed, making it into the finish with the inside left corner of their tire there, just barely in ahead of Ewan. 5 thousandths separating them. And then let's look at Dara TM, because Dara is actually 0.5 ahead. Dara getting a smooth landing there and a perfect angle into that reactor. So much speed, taking as much of the road as possible, trying to avoid that sand where they can, and making it into the finish just that much faster. They did the line better. Absolutely beautiful run by Dara TM there. Taking as much of the road as possible and avoiding the sand where they can. Excellent run there by Dara. Rurigalu, Exosum, UNTM, and Macrix TM, everybody doing some crazy stuff. This is just, you know, another one of those kind of like, you might consider it to be somewhat of an RNG map. The way that you have to hit this to get that launch is tedious, to say the least. Anybody that hit that launch probably spent 10 hours plus just bumping that just over and over again, trying to get through it. I actually managed to hit the checkpoint there, which I'm pretty impressed by. I think that's the first time I've actually done that. I managed to hit the checkpoint on the other side. Getting the reactor through the floor there. Yeah. Well done to everybody. We're moving on to the next track. I made it 134 in Oregon. Not the greatest score. I'm not concerned about it. That was definitely somewhat of an RNG track. Of course, though, the record holders did have very similar lines. Now, this track is a lot of fun. It is a high-speed transitional track. Got lots of little slopes and hills here. Want to reduce your airtime everywhere possible, but we're gonna see a very interesting strat here. If you can carry enough speed into this next section, and you can force a nose down here, like straight nose to the ground, there is a very interesting bug that has been known about since Trackmania, I want to say maybe Nations Forever, possibly even before that. But if you can get just the right nose down, there is what's known as a nose boost. And in order to do that, you have to land at a 90-degree angle with your nose straight down at the ground. Trying to keep as much speed through each one of these sections as possible. I'm slowing down, but I'm just trying to get the height on that jump. You gotta get every little bit of speed possible. You gotta carry it through to the finish. You want a nice low landing there. You want to just barely bump that, and your nose has to hit the ground. But if your nose goes straight down, as I said, like 90 degrees to the ground, like straight up and down, you can wiggle back and forth. And if you go left, right, within literally just a few frames, you can cause the car to burst forward at an insane speed. But the problem is, up until recently, that was only a strategy that was achievable by tasks, or at least that's what people thought, because of the fact that you have to do it so fast. You literally have to go left, right, like within just a few frames. Like a handful of frames, you have to do that like 3 or 4 times. And every time you do it, you gain a little bit of speed. But if you can, the faster you can do it, the more speed that you'll gain. And we want that nose down. Nope, not even close. But yeah, if you can get that nose boost, then it can basically launch you straight into the finish line. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the records here. We got, you'll see my time's a 19.663, and the record is a 17.573. Another thing you might notice is that there's a huge separation between the top 5. We got Ferruri Galu got an 18.280, and the record at number 5, and the record is a 17,570. So there's 0.7 separating number 5 and number 1. So we're gonna go ahead and check out what Rurigalu, Amelius, and Renea have for us here. Nice low transfer there, a little bit of a speed slide, low air time, going to the outside, speed sliding as much as possible to pick up speed and getting that nose down, nose boosting just the tiniest bit, and almost missing the finish line. Almost had too much speed, but you can see Amelius and Renea absolutely just launch ahead of Rurigalu here. Jesus. A little bit of a nose boost, and Renea just goes absolutely just flip-flopping, toppling over. Let's see Amelius here. Amelius, nice inside line there to the right. Nice low down, a little bit of a speed slide into this section. Low airtime speed slide, little bit of a wiggle. Nice nose down, huge speed boost. Almost loses control of the vehicle. Flies towards the side of the building and barely makes it into the finish. And we see Renea comes from behind and just launches in ahead there. What happened with Renea? Well, we're going to see what happened with Renea. So we got Amelius here, just barely behind. Nice low air time there. A little bit of a speed slide to the outside, speed slide to the inside. Nose down, huge speed boost, and he goes sideways. And he just starts flip-flopping and barely catches control right before the finish there. Bug sliding into the left side. Managing to get in 0.2 ahead of Amelius. Just absolute chaos. You'll never see another finish like that. That was craziness. And then we got Quick here, Kvik. Let's do Kvik with Renea behind. Kvik ahead in the start, nice low line, beautiful, perfect speed slide, a little bit of a wiggle, nose down, Renea's ahead, Renea launches in, but Kvik gets this beautiful line, full speed into the finish, almost straight, barely making it in there though at 200ths ahead of Renea. And then let's check out Nico, Ida. Get rid of Renea, Kvik, and Nico. Kvik a little bit ahead of Nico here. Kvik going lower, Nico going higher for more speed. Tiny little speed slide there, but gets a huge nose boost and a beautiful line into the finish. Almost toppling over sideways, but carrying so much speed. 650. 651 going 57, I mean, going off the end of that, and then boom, 917, 825, and finishes with a 548. But definitely a huge amount of speed there going into that last section, and just a perfectly straight line into the finish. Honestly, Nico just had the best approach. Well done to everybody there. That is a trick that a lot of us never thought we would actually see used or utilized by a human, but everybody in the top 5 managed to do it. That was Rurigalu, Amelius, Renea, Kvik, and Nico Ida, all pulling off the nose boost, getting the top 5 for track 4. That was Nissan, week 74, track 4. Moving on to the last track of week 74. This one's interesting. It's like a side scroller kind of situation. Camera's fixed. You want to, there's some specific stuff that you want to do here. Because of the way that everything is kind of like orientated, this has a lot to do with how you approach a landing. Nose downs will cause your, like, the back end of your car to go down more. If you land on the back end of your car, it can cause you to bug on the front. You want to collect as much air going down as possible, but reduce your air time going up or when flat. So I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff to this. It's a lot of like physics kind of things. You want to try to land as low and early in that last section there through that checkpoint so you can hit that red booster. There is an alternate path, but let me tell you, that alternate path really sucks. So we're just focusing on this path. And you go down there, try to keep contact. Huge speed, gonna go over the checkpoint even if I release almost all the way in. So that's really the last checkpoint, is really the biggest deal breaker. You gotta release right here until right about that line. It was a little too long, but everything is like just slightly off, so that like you are forced to adjust your airtime on every jump. And really it just comes down to like how accurately you manage to land each section. And we're gonna try this one more time, see if I can't beat my PB, even if just by 1,000th. We're gonna release here, hit the gas, nice downhill time there, beautiful smooth landing there, and we hit the gas a little late, dang it. The big thing is though, and I don't know how this happens, but there were several people that I saw that were catching huge airtime just off of the start there, almost flying all the way into that first checkpoint somehow. And I don't know how, to be honest. There's some trick at the start. If you like wiggle to the left or the right, one of the two. See, I got a tiny bit of airtime right there. Tiny bit of extra speed at the start. If you wiggle to the left, I believe, just as the track starts, you'll get a speed boost. And that will give you a little bit more distance to the start here, or to this first checkpoint. And you'll go slightly faster, but we've done this enough times for the preview. You get the idea. You want to try to be as efficient with your airtime as possible, because you can't completely reduce your airtime to nothing, so you have to utilize it in the best way that you can. So we got really close leaderboard on this one. We got NVTM, Skibbity Trizzler, Skibbity Rizzler 6-7, Dara TM, Macrix, and Dr. Soapball. Sopple? Something. We're gonna start with NVTM here, with Skibbity and Dara behind. And you can see at the start here, they get massive airtime going into the start. I want to see that again. It's hard to tell. Yeah, they get massive airtime going into the start. Don't understand how they get that airtime, but get massive airtime going into this second checkpoint, and huge backspin somehow, maximizing their airtime, landing perfectly just as the downhill starts in that last checkpoint there. But you can see they fly a huge distance into that first checkpoint. Just from the start, they gain so much more speed than me. And then they just rocket through this last section, hitting right at the start of that downhill there. And it is really close. There's only 1,000th separating Envy and Skibbity, and only 2,000 separating Skibbity and Envy. So 3 between the 3 of them. Let's go ahead and check out what Macrix did here. Macrix was with an 18.790. Dara TM. Macrix actually behind in the start. Dara getting more airtime through this section. Macrix starting to catch up a little bit. Hitting that downhill, picking up speed. Losing it here, but looks like they get a slightly lower landing and manage to just get ahead of Dara there at the finish. We go with Dr. Sopel. Soapball. Dr. Sopel getting probably the biggest launch at the start there out of anybody. Keeping that speed through the second checkpoint and doing a wild front flip, which somehow boosted him, and he keeps that into the finish. Macrix almost catches up, but Sopel finishing 3 thousandths ahead of Macrix. This flip right here is wild. What is that? How did that work out? Almost losing it before the finish, but just barely keeping that speed in the downhill there. Dr. Sopel getting the world record at an 18.787. That front flip, though, is crazy. How did that gain him so much speed? Almost, just barely keeping it there before the finish. That's wild to look at, though. Well done to everybody there. That was Dr. Sopel, Macrix TM, Dara TM, Skibbity Rizzler, and Envy in the top 5. That was track 5. DS Penske, week 74. So as I was saying, if you got the points record on this, whoever got the points record actually gets tickets to a Formula E race in their area, and Vosile managed to pull it off. He got 2 world records and finished in the top 10, I believe, on it all but I think track 3 or track 4, one of the two he didn't finish in the top 10, but every other track he finished in the top 10. Managed to get the world record by points for 87,869. What a merits. Thanks for popping in the chat. We got Dara TM with 60,793 points. Exosum at 52,514. Nico Ida 46,166, and UNTM with 45,933. Excellent work to everybody there on week 74. Lots of interesting tricks. A nose boost that we thought we would probably never see a human pull off in a legit record, and like 10 people did it. So excellent work. Well done. Congrats to everybody that did that. We are now in week 75. Track 1. This is Scarlet Snow. If you are interested in playing with us, I will open the room in the club that is TBL Rally. Feel free to join TBL Rally. We're gonna edit weekly shorts 75. Add 5 tracks, and we're gonna save it. We got 10-minute time limit for each track, and we're off. Room is open. Feel free to join us. Checking out Scarlet Snow. Winning. Obi winning. Winning. Ob winning. Anytime now. Taking a minute to load, it seems. Servers have been kind of slow lately. That is one thing. They have ever since the big update, when they added the new old building pieces. It's the servers have been kind of rough. What's up, Scud? Thanks for popping in. We're just starting our hunt of week 75. Club is open if you want to hop in. How are you doing today? Ooh, okay. Want a little bit of a higher approach on that. Oh, okay. Maybe we want to go more to the left then. Almost. Good, good, good. How are you doing on week 75? Any massive personal bests this week yet so far? Which is your favorite track? I just started, so I don't know yet. Okay, well, we will take that, I guess. Oh man, this is kind of a rough transitional track. Okay, we keep contact that time. Ah, dang it, a little low. We gotta maximize our angle on that one. Nice, smooth downhill transition. Ah, too high, dang it. That is going to be a tough one. That's a very precise launch angle there. Have much experience Trackmania? No, not really. I mean, I have a pretty good amount of experience. I've been playing since 2021, I think. I didn't play any of the previous titles. I have seen a fair amount of Trackmania Turbo content, watched a lot of Trackmania Nations Forever, but just never got into it until recently. Part of the reason is, of course, this one's free to play, so that, you know, makes a difference. I like to check out pretty much anything that's free to play. Ooh, that's interesting. So we can actually force, get the author medal with 17,138. We can actually force a wobble there to the right side, which would line us up more with the exit transition of that. Yeah, if we can get the right, whoops. Oh, and we can jump to the finish too. If we can get the right angle on that, then we can land smoothly on that ramp on the other side. I do have a fair amount of experience. I understand a lot of the mechanics. Took a long time to understand certain things. There's still some stuff that kind of eludes me, like why it works, you know? But yeah, no. I got a fair amount of experience. I've been playing for, like I said, about 5 years-ish now. 4 or 5 years. Probably 4 years because I took a little bit of a break there. Damn it. Need a better angle on this. There we go. Let me get that downhill there. Oh, that was almost enough. I almost had it, but we had just a little bit of a nose down, kind of screwed it. Oof. Need a better angle through that section. If I can go way to the left and get a good downhill angle on that, that would probably be the optimal line I'm thinking there. There we go. Look at that, 146 ahead. Okay, so that I think is going to be the best line there. We want to go as straight from the start to that transition as possible. Oof. Started playing 2 years ago, but took a break for like 7 months. Yeah, I pretty much did the same thing. I started playing in 2021. And I played, I don't know, a handful of tracks from the spring campaign of that year. And then I didn't pick it up again until, I think, summer of 22. Might have even been winter of 20. Might even been winter, actually. I think it was winter of 22 is when I picked it back up. You can see it on my player profile. It tells you what seasons I participated in. Yeah, if you want to play with us, freaking check out TBL Rally in the clubs. And you can join us in room 1. Hunt with us. We got a couple of world record holders that like to pop in chat and hunt with us every week, so you might learn something, assuming they show up. Usually they're here by now, so we'll see what happens. Maybe they're doing an event or something and I just don't know about it. But yeah, we got Coffray TM and It's Fire like to pop in the chat and hunt with us. Okay, that was a 0.2 improvement. What up, Hamtaro? Low key 23. 23:30. It's 11:30. Wow. Playing Forza 6. You butthole, man. You're not supposed to play Forza 6 without me. Where's my copy? You gotta buy me a copy, man. You're not allowed to play Forza 6 until I get to play. Peak game. Forza 6. I've seen, yeah. It came out yesterday. I thought about picking it up, but I don't have $70, or I don't have $120, let alone $70 to buy it right now. I do have Game Pass, but I don't have Game Pass Ultimate is the thing. We see Forza Horizon 5. No, it was yesterday morning. It was yesterday morning it came out. And then early access was Friday or Saturday, one of the two. It was like 2 days early. But yeah, I got Forza Horizon 5 because I bought the Forza Horizon 5 edition Xbox, because it's literally the only one they had in the store. Not because I specifically wanted it, but I mean, it was a worth it purchase. I like Forza Horizon. I'm not the biggest fan of Forza Motorsport. I do like it, but I don't know, it's just too repetitive in my opinion. Lost some speed on that. Oh, crap. Whoop. Motorsport is cool for open world. Yeah, that's the thing, is it doesn't have an open world that, at least not for the there's a what is it, 5? I think Forza Motorsport 5. They did actually have like a thing where you could freaking ride around the different courses and go to like checkpoints or whatever and start a race. Almost kind of like Need for Speed in a way, but yeah. Oh, just barely. Just barely. Motorfest. Oh, okay. 16-9. Hell yeah. Good time. Love to see it. Are you going to join us for the hunt here, Hamtura? Ah, dang. Played a little bit of Motorfest. Heck yeah, room 1, man. You know what's up. We got 30 seconds left on track 1, so you're going to be joining us for track 2 today. Oh my god! What a finish. You made your own weekly shorts and they suck. That sounds awesome. I gotta check it out. 16-8. That flip, I got flipped around and 180'd in the end. That was awesome. They're called IDK shorts. That's the perfect name. Definitely. Oh, this one looks fun. Oh, I saw a waifu. There was a waifu there. Where'd the waifu go? We're gonna find the waifu. Is that the waifu? That's the waifu. What's up, waifu? Okay, I like literally wasn't even paying attention to that track. I was just looking for the waifu. And we got the author medal first try. Okay. This feels very cuttable. We got 3 checkpoints. Oh, I need to reduce my airtime there. We got 3 checkpoints. And a very open path. Like, incredibly open route here. Boom, speed. Heck yeah. There's a hidden finish to the right. I just saw it. There we go. That's how it's done. Oh, we got to make it through one of those into that ring on the right side there. There we go. Reduce our airtime and keep our speed. A little more inside on this line. And we lost speed again somehow, but we still get the PB. Let's go. Also 0.5 PB first try. Nice. How did I already find the secret finish? I just saw the red out of the corner of my vision there. It wasn't really that hidden. Was kind of hidden, but not like super hidden. Some of them are like, they got like vines and shit in front of them. You can't see them at all. Oh, my tree. You got a different club tag this week? You got a different club tag every week, bro? Horse. You made your own club so you could freaking name it horses? What's with you and horses, bro? Or did you find a club that already had horse for the tag? You were looking for more waifus. I was looking for more waifus. You're totally right. Not very often that the waifus actually give you the damn it. Not very often the waifus give you the answer. What up? What's up, Ruin? How's it going? Thanks for popping in. We got hunts going on. Room is active, yes. You can hop into TBL Rally, and it is room 1. Yeah, I think Ruin's new to the chat. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Coffrey might pop in here sometime soon. Maybe even Fire. They've been in here pretty consistently over the last, like, couple of weeks to a month almost. Boom! 17.5. That's pretty good. Oh, but you got a 17.2. All right, buddy. What up, Rick? Got lots of people popping in chat today. How is y'all doing? And yes, if you are playing Trackmania, we have a room open in TBL Rally. Yes, room 1. Thank you, sir. We are currently hunting track 2. Hope everyone's having a good one. Thank you, Hamtaro. Let's see, can we go... Okay. If we go through the right side there... Yo, what up, Rick? First time here, what's going on? This is Trackmania Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we check out the weekly shorts records, and then we have a public room that anybody can join, and we like to hunt the new tracks. Been doing this for actually over a year now. Love having you here. Thanks for freaking joining, everybody. Room is popping. Nice low landing there. Hi, I'm new. I like that. Ruin. Yeah, nice landing on that one, Ruin. Definitely want the low landing so that you can pick up as much speed before the finish as possible. Whoop. I'm thinking the left side is probably better because it's a straighter line. And you drop in more consistently. We can make it between those two trees is like the best spot. Must find all the waifus. Are there more, actually? I love this. The lucky cyan. Yeah, the problem is you look at it and like the longer you look at it, the brighter it gets. So it just washes it out. You can't actually really see the waifu. What's the point of waifus if you can't look at them, man? Hello, hello. Oh, hit the wall. Uh-oh. Ruin's showing us up. Just joined the club and he's already putting us to shame. Oh, so I need to actually release there before the finish, I'm thinking. Gurga. Oh, so we got a Trackmania club regular, huh? Oh, actually that is a good trick. Releasing the gas just before the finish. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, good work on everybody's part so far. I'm still trying to catch up. Y'all are ahead of me. Yo, yes, perfect. Release the gas just before the finish. Gives you a little bit of a bonus there. Yo, what's up? Room's popping. Thanks for being here. Kind of wondering how you guys are so far ahead of me. There's got to be a shortcut or something I'm missing here. Dang. I feel like I should spectate. Just a better finish. I see that Section and Ruin are both going for a roof hit here at the start, which is an interesting tactic. He's got world record. Who's got world record? Section's got world record? No way. That's crazy. Hell yeah. I'm not even looking at the leaderboards. Anytime now. Banana apple. Huh. Techie, corny. Oh, okay. We got track 3 here. This is our Pathfinder, of course. Looks like everybody's going to the left. There's 3 checkpoints. Okay. So we can go here to start. Everybody's going to the left, so I'm gonna guess the left is probably the best path. Huh, okay. So let's see here. We got 1, 2, and 3, and then the finish is in the middle. Okay, so if we go, they're all going around the outside, but I feel like this is a good route right here. Oh, the start is also a finish. That makes sense. I think I got a pretty good route here. They're just going around the outside edge. Yeah, start is a lap block, yeah. Yeah, I got that. '07. Good luck. Good luck indeed. Got gold medal. Pretty close to that author medal. If we can get a better transition across this corner. They're all going to the left. Looks like if you just go to the left here and get a nice transition through that corner, that's probably the best route. And there's plastic there that you can bump off of. Okay. We want a nice tight line through there. If we can cut the corner, that would be even better. Nope, not quite. Not enough speed for that. Might be enough speed for that, but gotta hit it just right. Not enough speed for that one either, so we need to go around the outside edge. I see. Okay. So it is a bit faster to go this way. Oh, 1.2 seconds improvement. That's good for me at least, but I'm still 1.1 seconds behind. Okay. They left. Oh no. I was wondering. Well, that was fun. They came in and gave us a solid route for the last track and then dipped out. PB is 17.4. That's pretty good. That's way better than me. I need to hit this plastic and then make it up that transition right there smoothly. And carry my speed through here. That corner right there. Whoa! Wall climb a little bit there on accident. This is a tough one. Ah. We need to keep contact all the way up that. Yeah, because we lose contact even for just a moment, we completely lose control of the vehicle. Nope. Jumping through that corner would actually be good too. There we go. No, dang. I was on it. That was such a good line. Oh, and they got a fence on the inside of that, so you can't go through it. Oh. Need to carry my speed through that corner. You can drive over this corner a little bit. Ah, if you can make it through there without clipping. Nice. No way. Oh man, I had such a good line right there. Oh my god, well, that was a 0.5 improvement. It was dirty. It was not a very clean run, but I made it. If I can make it through that corner. Glad you survived the ads. Almost died twice? Wow, that's crazy. Bro, the ads they're coming out with these days are vicious. You know those commercials where, like, you know, the hip replacement recalls and stuff? If you or your loved one was injured, like, imagine one of those for a commercial. Like, if you or a loved one was injured while viewing this Pepsi ad or whatever, you know, like, that'd be hilarious. Oh, shit. Oh, nice. That was probably even rougher than the last one, but yet still another 0.2 improvement. We got 20 seconds. Can we get one more run? Let's PB right here. Nope. Not gonna happen. Womp. I tried. You can go this way, though. You can actually reverse the order on this, and it might be even smoother, to be honest. I feel like there's another route to that. Map 5 is reactor up. Oof. Very try hard. Oh, you went to the outside. Interesting. Okay. Immediately I'm seeing better routes than... Did you tell me about how you like horses? I had the idea. I kind of thought that might be a thing. You do talk about them pretty often. What's your favorite kind of horse? We used to have a saddlebred quarter horse. A lemon horse. Didn't know that was a thing. You have said that a few times. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Give it a lick. Tastes like raisins. Make lemonade, sweet lemonade, sweet, sweet lemonade. Okay, so if we can get enough speed, we can avoid that engine off. I'm assuming that's probably like a goal here. We need a high transition here so we can get a lot of contact, and then full speed. Barely almost made it. When life gives you lemons from an orange tree, make apple juice. Oh, dang it. I had so much speed. Almost. I tried. 227, 17.9. Yo, that's actually huge. If I can get the right line here, I could probably do a 17.8. If I can miss that engine off, that's the big thing. If I can launch over the engine off, which is going to require like the perfect lead up to it. Oh man, if I had made that line right there, that might have done it. Let's go wide, actually, for speed here. So let's go around the outside. I have a thought. No, dang it. I had to freaking brake tap right there and lost it. We can carry all of the speed all the way through from start to finish. Oh, that would have been sweet. I feel like there's an alternate route. I'm seeing stuff around the outside edge that looks like bait. Let's go! Yeah! That was a huge run. Flip off the... Oh, ramp cut to the finish. Well, I just got a 1758. Going around the outside for speed is a good call. Keep losing huge PBs to the side of the engine off. I feel that. Do we want to go to the inside or the outside of the ramp? Or does it matter? Probably doesn't matter because it's a straight line. Dang. No. On one of my attempts, I had like a massive freaking quantum slide going on. $17.53. Let's go. With a little bit of a ramp cut to the finish. Dang. Your room time is your PB? Nice. Hey, you got a good time though. You're like right next to me. Ah. It's that outside line, man. It actually makes a big difference. Just building the speed from the start. Getting the right angle into that transition's tough, though. Oh, no, I hit it. Dang. Just barely clipped the engine off there. You can full speed and go inside. Yeah. I almost had that line once. Oh. Literally as I'm saying it. Okay. No! Ah. That would have been huge. That would have been an absolutely massive PB right there. Final attempt. Nope. Damn. I had such a freaking huge line there. That would have been like a 17-2. Crazy. GG's. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I've been getting a lot better at tech, honestly. You almost always beat me, so I feel pretty good about that, actually. This one looks hilarious. I'm not sure what to expect here, but... This is what you're talking about, reactor up flight. Okay. Okay, so we want to go outside. Can we actually just... There's 2 checkpoints. There's one here and one at the reactor. So if we can just hit the reactor... And we have to make it into the mouth. 1401. Oh man, that's huge actually, right there. Nope, nope. No. Oh my god, right in between the blocks, of course. No. Ah, that's unfortunate. Looks like a reactor flight might not actually be the best way to beat this one. Because even if I had made that, I would have been at like 19 seconds. Doing the strat wrong. Let me do what I want, man. I just want to make the flight because this is fun. Nope, damn it. Dang. I can get a reactor flight to the finish. That's what I want. Even if it's not the right strat, I want to do it just because it looks fun. Dang. Reactor flight is the only strat. You can't do anything else? Well, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Dang it, I had such a good freaking line there at one point. Oh, there's a hidden finish down there. Wee! Holy crap. Well, I got a 14.444. I got launched by that pepperoni. Dang. So you gotta hit that pepperoni with a good downhill. Or... Okay. Interesting. I'm seeing a few different things can be done here. Lol. Oh. Alright, man. Thanks for hanging out and playing with me. Stay safe, Hamtaro. Huge shout out to Hamtaro, always hanging out with us in chat. Yeah, I gotta zoop off the pepperonis. Yep, yep. Dang. There's a finish under the map, which makes me really curious. Oops. If I had come from the other direction. That was an interesting route. Oh. Dang. That might be a good route right there. The problem is it is actually slightly random because you kind of get locked into different angles. Like automatically, regardless of whether you air brake or not. See, I didn't air brake that time. Oops. 20 seconds. Can we PB? No. Dang it. Had such a good line there, but didn't go anywhere. GG! Thanks for playing. He's got a 1401. Almost 14 exactly. 14 and 1,000. That was Pepperoni Pizza, track 5 of week 75. That was a fun one, actually. Might be able to improve on this one a little bit. That hilarious backwards finish I got is not by any means optimal. Thanks for the subbies on YouTube, by the way. All the new viewers. Recently just hit 200. Actually, like my last stream I hit 200 and we're already almost on to next milestone. Greatly appreciate everybody. I hope that you are having an absolutely wonderful day. And if you are a Trackmania player, feel free to join TBL Rally. That is my club. We do Trackmania shorts reviews every Tuesday. Call it Trackmania Tuesday. One of the best days of the week. Come and hang out with us. I will also be live again tomorrow. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. However, my schedule will be changing here very soon. As this Friday, I will not be streaming. We usually do Phasmophobia on Fridays, but I am not going to be available. I have a new job I am training for Thursday, Friday, and it's going to cut into my regular schedule. So we are not doing Fridays, at least not this week. We may end up having to reschedule my streams entirely to different days, depending on when my days off are. Damn it. I'm not sure when my days off are going to be. I was told that I am going to be required to work weekends. So that means probably Saturdays I'm going to be working. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday will likely be my days off. We'll see what we do with that. We'll probably keep Trackmania Tuesday, but everything else is going to have to change to work around my schedule. So hope to see you all there. If you enjoy the content, please do hit that subscribe give it a like, check out the links below, join us on Twitch. Hope that y'all have an absolutely wonderful week. I do appreciate all of my viewers. We have a lot of fun. And it's nice having somebody to hang out with while we check out the new maps and stuff. I think I will probably call it here. Hope that everybody has an incredible rest of your Tuesday. Again, hope to catch you in the next one. We will be live tomorrow. I might be doing Blue Fire tomorrow, might do Crimson Desert. We'll see what happens. Come back for the next one and find out. Hope to see you there. Once again, greatly appreciate you. We will catch you in the next one. Everybody stay safe, stay free, and as always, trust in the bloodlust.